Hello, my name is mkbailey and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be revisiting a production that I worked on a couple of months ago. We were working on Refiner by Maverick City. If you want to check out the original video, you can click the button above and check that out, but we're going to be jumping right in where we left off at. And this is from a live that I shot earlier. So let's get right into it and check it out. This is verse 1 right here. All right, so typically what I do with these type of productions, let's say I'm producing this song for someone, and let's say I stopped in the middle of the production and I came back to this production 2 or 3 days later. What I'm doing is I'm going back and I'm listening to the production and I'm seeing what needs to be added to this song, what needs to be subtracted from the song, what didn't I get a chance to add to the song before I left and stepped out. What I'm about to add right now is an aux line to highlight these bells right here, because right now it's not much going on. So I want to put a sine lead over top of these bells. So I'm going to check it out. So we're going to highlight that over top of the bells. All right, so this transition right here, we laid the foundation of that aux line right there. We have this gap right here where we need to add like a transitional effect right here. So there's space right here. So this space needs to be filled up right there. So let me see what's going on with this. All right, we're going to start with that and we're going to add a little bit more to that as well. So check this out. Check this out. Hey, that feels so good right there. All right, we're looking for an effect right here that can fill up this space, something that's just going to be big and like bold, you know? I like it. Let's go with it. I like that. Another thing I often do in my productions as well, anytime there's an effect like that, I like to add chimes over top of that. So that kind of creates a little bit more dynamics to what's already going on. It's not something that's abrasive, but it's something to add to that. So if we just add simple chimes over top of that, that kind of adds, you know, a different depth to it. Super, super simple. I don't really know any theory. Mostly what I know is just the feel of how music should sound. So if you want to learn theory, I say go for it. But what I would recommend you do, whatever type of music you want to learn how to make, consume that music. Listen to that music nonstop. If you want to make gospel music, if you want to make music that sounds like this, like find that type of music, listen to it, consume it nonstop, and then try to recreate it, ask other people questions, do all of those things, because that's what's going to help you grow. We become, as musicians, what we listen to the most. So what I'm going to do to enhance this part right here, we're going to add a pad right here when the keys come in after this transition. So back to the pad. So that's a lot right there on the keys in, but we'll see how we feel about it as we keep working. Tip that I'll let you guys know that I often like to do is you have that loop. We have a drone pad going on right here. This is sustaining throughout the whole entire song. This is underneath this whole entire production. Then we have the keys, of course. Over top of the keys, I like to add a pad underneath the keys. And I am using Mosaic pads. If you want access to this pad, you can get it on my website. When you put all of that together, it just creates this nice sonic, you know? I like that right there. Hey. If possible, can we get a small tutorial on mixing, balancing, and sounds while creating music? So, Demetrius, I mean, people often ask me this question. One of the things I am studying and working on right now is mixing, because a lot of you guys are often asking, hey, how do you mix your tracks? So I am technically, I'm pre-mixing while I'm like, when I'm doing stuff like this, technically I'm pre-mixing, right? So one of the things I know, just like simple tip like this, we know that bells is a bright and loud instrument. So I do not need to have my bells at 0 dB. So off the jump, I'm going to pull down them bells off the jump. And then another thing that I'm going to pull down is the aux lines as well. Another thing that I often go over as well, I should probably have my screen up for this. The pad, I explained to you guys that the pad, I'm putting that pad underneath the production. So since the pad is underneath the production, I'm going to pull that down. That doesn't need to be a primary instrument out front. So the only things that you are really hearing out front is the keys, the loop. You're hearing a little bit of those bright stuff, like the effects stuff in there as well. So like this type of stuff, like those things are in and then they're out. So when you're asking about when I'm mixing along the way, basically what I'm doing is I'm pulling down the instruments that I know are bright. I'm pulling down those things that are too loud off the rip. Like the drums are kind of loud right now, but I like to keep the drums loud for now because that's how I feel the track, you know? All right, so these are rough keys right here. So I'm kind of with the bass a little bit. I like to be expressive and I like to move a lot. So I'm gonna go back in and perfect what I'm doing on the bass. But one of the things about my production and my producing, I like to try to get all of my ideas out on paper first. It's almost like brainstorming. And I often tell myself, if it's too much, if I don't like it, I'll go back in and subtract it and change it later. All right, so that was fun. So part of me setting up the foundation with songs like this is playing out the key drums. Again, as I mentioned, I get all of my ideas out of my head and I'm trying to get it into the production. The ideas that are session ready, the ideas that make sense, we keep those ideas, and the ideas that don't make sense and clash too much, we delete those ideas and we scratch them. Whenever the keys is establishing a foundation, the aux player, he's going to highlight the foundation that he is painting. So the line is right here. So this is the line. So there's nothing going on right there as far as the aux right now. So we're going to highlight that line. All right, so we got so that part, I want this on that 4 to be very big. So what we're going to do is we're going to add this pad right here. Again, we can always go back later and clean up what we're doing right now. So again, we're catching those lines. We're making the song come alive. All right, so we got that. Now we're gonna add some chimes right here. At each transitional point in the song, what we're doing is we're adding something different there to let you know that the song is transitioning from that chorus to the next part. So we're gonna add chimes there, and then we're gonna add that EFX pad back in there. This chime, again, it lets us know we're going to the next part. All right, so now we're gonna do. I wanna burn for you, only for you. Clean my hands, purify my heart. We gotta add that guitar line over top of right there. It's so many great melodies in this song right now. Like, let me see. Yeah. 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 So clean my hands, purify my heart. But yeah, that's all we got for today. Thank you guys for joining and coming through. It definitely means a lot. Hey, thank you so much for watching that last video. Please consider partnering with me on Patreon. Patreon is a private community that I share exclusive videos on, going over gospel keys, gospel music production. So please go do that and stick around and check out the next video that YouTube is recommending. All right, we out.